people say Suzuka is special because drivers love it. True! But that's not the real reason. The real reason is this. Suzuka is one of the few tracks in Formula 1 where the car is almost never allowed to relax. It's not just fast, it's not just technical, it's a continuous physics sedan. But Suzuka is 5.807 kilometers long. It has 18 corners on the four-wheel layout, with its famous figure 8 style design, making it look like one of the most unusual circuits. And when people think about F1 performance, they often think about horsepower. Suzuka does not care that much about it. Suzuka cares how beautifully a car moves its weight. Every time a driver turns, brakes, releases the brake, and gets back on throttle, which changes direction, the load on the tires shifts. At some tracks, those shifts are big but simple. Heavy braking, big acceleration, straight line reset. At Suzuka, the load shifts are layered, especially in the Esses, where the driver is not just making separate corners, they are linking corners into one long chain of controlled instability. The car moves left, right, maggots and maggots and back. With every transition of the tires are asked, how much grip do you still have? How quickly can you accept new load? And how stable is the aero platform while the chassis rolls and pitches? And that means Suzuka rewards cars that are not only fast at peak grip, but fast at grip continually. That is much more difficult than being a design. The Esses are basically a tire torture device. The first sector at Suzuka is one of the best examples in racing of something called combined loading. That means the tire is not just doing one job, it's not only turning, it's not only braking, it's not only carrying vertical load, it's doing multiple jobs at once. The front tires basically have to keep generating lateral grip while the car keeps transferring away from one side to the other. Front axle responds too slowly, the car feels lazy, and if it responds too aggressively, the car doesn't get nervous. The rear can get nervous. So the car and the driver is constantly balancing steering angle, throttle trace, tiny brake inputs, the timing of the weight transfer, because tires do not produce grip like an on-off switch. They build it through slip, angle, and deformation. Even the direction changes happen quickly. The rubber does not get infinite time to settle. Modern F1 cars make huge performances from the floor, but the floors are picky. They want the car low, stable, and predictable. Suzuka does not want to help with that, because the fast direction changes and high-speed corners, if the front of the car dives too much, the aero balance shifts. If the rear moves around too much, the diffuser loses consistently. If the right height changes at the wrong moment, the underfloor can lose efficiency exactly when the driver needs confidence. And that is why Suzuka can reveal a fake car. Well, a big fast car, sorry. Some cars look amazing in slower corners on simple layouts, and then they arrive at Suzuka and then suddenly the driver cannot commit. Not because the engine load got weaker, it's because the airflow under the car stopped feeling trustworthy. The driver turns because they believe the car will produce enough stable downforce at exactly the right ride height and the yaw angle. That is important because downforce is strongest when airflow behaves the way that aerodynamics expect. But once the car rotates, bumps, rides curves, or get a small gust of wind, the airflow can change. The corners are really asking, does the car keep attached airflow when it is not perfectly flat? Does the car stay planted at speeds lead off? Can the driver make tiny correction without causing a larger instability? The Suzuka is famous because it turns these invisible aerodynamics questions into visible lap time. The driver feels it immediately. If the platform is not good, the car looks precise. If not, the driver hesitates by just a fraction. And in Formula 1, a fraction is literally everything. If someone says Suzuka is special because it's fast and flowing, tell them yes. But that's not the only surface. Underneath that is the Suzuka is where great drivers look brave because great engineers gave them a car stable enough to be brave in. And that is what makes the Japanese Grand Prix one of the smartest races on the calendar. I am the mini commentator Chris, and I'm about to hit the DRS zone